Alright, hello. I'm Mooware and we're playing Mad Panic Coaster for the PlayStation 1. Let's get right into it. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this is still showing the old name, yeah. Well, I'll just get going. So, Mad Panic Coaster is a roller coaster action game, I guess. Very arcadey. So we're on a kind of unsafe roller coaster. It's even made from bones. At the start of each track, we're slowly being pulled up. And then it's down to the action. So, yeah, I'm controlling this roller coaster cart. And the goal of each stage is basically just to survive, pretty much. And you can see the game is really fast, so it can be kind of difficult. There's limited health in the top left, that's my health bar. And hitting enemies or falling off the track costs health, and if you lose all health, then you'll just fall off the track. I do have a weapon. I have these bombs that let me destroy the enemies on the track, at least most of them. Not everyone can be destroyed, I think. And it's all kind of like horror themed. They're all like scary clowns and skulls, zombies, all kinds of stuff like that. We're already on the third lap, so it's pretty fast. That's the first track. Lucky. The game has 5 areas, each with 3 tracks, and the third track is also a boss fight. And we'll get to the boss fight soon enough. But yeah, so this first area is Mad Island, which is kind of an amusement park, I guess, kind of a theme park with a spooky, scary vibe. I think this is kind of like a this kind of house of horror or something. Ghost house. The cart does have brakes. We're not gonna use them much. I can pull the brakes a little bit. It doesn't last very long. Dodge these big bones here. Sometimes the tracks have gaps. You get a little bit of a warning for the gap with these. I'm not sure, are they shovels? I think they're shovels. But if you haven't played the game before, then it's probably not enough of a warning to respond to the gap. One zombie lady with the balloons is shooting at us. The game has some really nice enemy sprites, but we will barely get to see them because it's just really fast and we always zoom by. But pretty much every track has its own enemies, and there are always some really creative sprites. The end credits show some of them, not all of them. And that's the end of the second track. Lucky. And We're already at the third stage, which means it's gonna be a boss fight. So it's 3 normal laps, and then we're going into a separate area with a boss, and you either have to survive 3 laps with the boss, or you have to hit the boss often enough. I've never really recognized what that one enemy there is. It looks like a skin-colored pumpkin, I guess. Got some kind of clown juggler here. Oh, don't fall off. Hopefully you can hang off the edge of the track before you fall. And that's 3 normal laps, so now we're going to the boss arena. Here's the boss door. And the first boss is some kind of nightmare clown, I guess, juggler. And yeah, so you either have to survive 3 laps, or have to hit the boss often enough. And the bosses hit back pretty hard. The projectiles usually do a ton of damage. For the first boss it's pretty easy, but the later bosses can easily kill me. And it can be really hard to dodge the projectiles. Alright, that's the first area. We're continuing on to Mad Mountain. And the first track here is kinda special, this snowy, frozen track, because the track is incredibly slippery. Usually I could just... I don't have to press anything and the cart will stay on the track. Except in turns, of course. But here it's so slippery that I basically have to steer left and right the whole time because it just keeps sliding around. Thankfully it's the only track that does that because it's really a lot of work. Oh, away, Yeti. Jumping kinda helps, controlling the direction. There's a gap. Alright, one more lap. Oh, that's still a ton of health, so not much of a problem if I fall once or twice. Good. And that's it. Next up, this forest track here has a shortcut. It's one of the few tracks that has any branches at all, and if you take the right path, then you'll get a much shorter lap. Also, a little fun thing here, so when they go up, they kind of look scared, but when I pause, they don't. Alright, down we go again. There's also a big tree in the middle of the track. And here's the shortcut. Jump, jump. Jump across that log. And it's already the whole lap. And this track has also some fun enemy sprites that we're not gonna get to see because they are on the other path. There's like a Red Riding Hood. We do meet the rabbits with the hacked off paws, I guess. They're bleeding from their paw stumps. Bit gruesome. But yeah, it's all a bit horror themed in a cartoony way. And that's already it. With a shortcut, this track is really quick. And we're already in the next boss stage. And this boss can be kind of difficult, so I'll probably just go for survival with this one. Just try and outlast for 3 laps. But first we have to go 3 laps on this psychedelic flower meadow. This one has some especially weird enemies. The bees are pretty normal, but there's this weird thing with a long tongue where I'm never sure what it is. I think I paused and saw that it's some kind of plant once. And that's already the normal part of the track. And here's the boss. The boss is some kind of undead deer, some kind of zombie Bambi, I guess. And if you hit it, it retaliates with a lot of these acorns. And they do a lot of damage, so I'll just evade them and try to survive. It's pretty short lap, so it's not a lot of time lost and much safer. And that's it. Okay, on to the third area, Mad Ocean. And here's where the game really starts to get difficult, I think. This track already is kind of difficult, and the boss stage here especially. Got some spikes falling down here that are pretty hard to avoid. They have a random pattern as far as I'm aware. And also, so every stage has this blue health gem that you might have noticed. And this one is especially hidden I guess. So if you just run off the track the normal way without jumping, then you'll jump over the gem and you can't get it, so you have to jump earlier in order to fall down and get the health gem. And also something that happened there when I jumped down, which you might not have noticed, one of the skulls from my health bar went missing. It's an interesting little game mechanic. So when you jump and you fall far enough, then you'll knock the skulls off all the exposed sections of your health bar. And the only thing that does, as far as I can tell, is it gives you a score. It's just a score mechanism. There we go. That's knocked off 3 skulls. And the only thing that the score does is, if you finish the game with 600,000 points, I think, you get a different ending. Just a different ending screen, really, just a different picture. But in order to get that many points, you pretty much have to beat the game deathless, which is not easy, so we're probably gonna take at least 1 death in this run. Doesn't happen often that I get a deathless run. Alright, second Mad Ocean stage. This one is gonna take us underwater. And there are these 3 clams here that open and close, and they can be kind of hard to dodge because I guess they randomly open or close, or maybe it's just that the timing is always different when I get there. So I try to jump not just over them but also around them. Also jumping the shark there. Let's see if we can get the health gem. There we go. And we're back up to full health. Oh, don't fall off. Caught myself in the last moment. Jump, jump, jump. Alright, and that's track 2. You can't really refill a lot of health. You only get a single health gem per stage and it fills 1 section. And I think the skull under that section is just gone, so you can't knock it off again. Okay, so here's another boss stage, and yeah, the boss here is pretty difficult. He might kill me. But first the normal stage. I'm inside this giant eel, I think, carcass, some kind of giant monster. I'm trying not to pick up the health gem if I don't need it, but it can be kind of hard since everything's very fast. I guess for the last lap I might as well pick it up for score. Still full health, so far so good. And now we're going to the boss. And the boss here is a kind of ghost pirate, I guess. Oh, really? So his attacks really do a ton of damage, so I'd like to avoid them as well as possible. But it's really hard, because with the way that the track winds, you can barely see where the... Oh, he's got me already. You can barely see where the projectiles are, so it's really hard to dodge stuff, and every hit takes off a whole segment of your health bar. So you can lose pretty quickly there. So the zombie guy we just saw on the game over screen, that's Dr. Jones. He's kind of the main villain, I guess, but not really. So this game does have a story. It's not really represented in the game, but it is written down in the manual. So the story of the game goes like this. So Dr. Jones and his son Masao are big roller coaster fans, and Masao asks him to build the best roller coaster in the world, and so Dr. Jones starts working and building roller coasters in order to build the best roller coaster in the world. And he works on it for a long time, and at some point he has an unfortunate accident, and the roller coaster catches fire and crashes down on him, and that's why he looks like a ghoul. But he keeps working, and at some point he finally finishes his best roller coaster in the world. But by then Masao, his son, has grown up and doesn't really care about roller coasters anymore. Instead he only cares about money. He's a greasy businessman now. And so, for some reason, Masao kidnaps, Dr. Jones, the dad, kidnaps these two teenagers to test his roller coasters. And I'm not really sure how that ties in. Oh, he's already doing so much damage again. Oh, it's gonna be difficult. Oh, next hit is gonna kill me. Or not. Oh yeah, there we go. That's too bad. To get the good ending, you pretty much have to want to see the game, yeah. Because you lose your score when you die. Alright, this time it's gonna work out, I hope. But yeah, the bosses can be pretty difficult. The next boss after this shouldn't be so bad. I mean, that one is kind of more random, but usually it's easier. And then the final boss again is more difficult. Grab the gem, but it's hard to avoid sometimes, so I just have to try to not lose any health. Oh, okay, just a little of health lost. And here we go, back to the boss. There we go. That went a lot better. Mad City is the next area. And the gimmick on this first track is that sometimes billboards fall onto the track, and sometimes they stay on the track, and then you have to avoid them. And the very first billboard here is kind of a trap, because if you just jump over it, then you'll jump right into the gap after the billboard. So try to get around it by hanging onto the ledge of the track there. Also got some fun enemy sprites here. These steak slingers or pizza slingers, I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. And these police dogs. The rabid taxi cabs with the big maw. Yep, jumped early. Okay, and then the third lap, there's a special surprise here. This billboard is breaking our track. And we have to jump over a new gap. Now, Lady Liberties is trying to throw me off the track, but we're getting to the end. The second track here is, I think, inside a subway, maybe? Inside subway tunnels. Some kind of cactus man in a lowrider, octopus MTV DJ. And here at the end there's always these girders that are pretty hard to avoid. One guy just won't go. Okay, just one more lap here. A bit low on health, but we're almost through. Okay, phew. Lucky. And we're already at the next boss track. jumping there is a tiny speed up, because if you just roll to the top, your cart will slow down a lot. These basketball players are kinda hard to avoid, not just that they take 2 hits, but also the ball stays behind after you defeat them. Okay, that's 3 laps, but now we have to go halfway across the map to get to the boss fight. And this boss is kinda random. It has some strong attacks, but it doesn't always use them. Okay, so far it hasn't done any big attacks. Oh, it's done. So this boss can also throw a big trash can onto the track that bounces around. And it has some kind of burger yo-yo, I wanna call it. But that's what it looks like a huge burger on a string, and it stays around for a while. And here's the last area of the game already. That's Mad Masao's castle. So Masao is the son of Dr. Jones, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, so Masao only loves money now. He's a successful businessman. This track is made from coins. And we're going into this big golden pyramid that even says Masao at the entrance. Tries to crush us with his wealth. Jumping over the big meat. I really like these melons, they're just grinning at me. They're not really much of a threat, because they're outside of the track. So they just kinda accompany you for a bit and grin at you. Takes good timing. Alright, and the next stage is basically the last normal stage of the game, because the last boss fight is a bit special. And this next stage is also a maze. So there are several branches in it, and you have to take the right path or you'll just loop around. And it's also pretty difficult. It's easy to die here, so we'll see if I can get it the first time. Right at the start here, we're bombarded with sweets and cookies. There's not really a good way to avoid them. We have to go left. really don't like these enemies that bombard you with letters. They're kind of hard to avoid. Got the health, and back into the sweets rain. Try not to get hit. Alright, so far so good. Still got a lot of health for the last leg. And we're through. Alright. So all that's left is the final boss fight. And that's also a pretty difficult and long boss fight, so even if I'm successful, it takes a few minutes. Go! Going up the red carpet this time. And this track doesn't have laps. It doesn't end until you defeat the boss. And here's the boss. It's Masao. Dr. Jones' son on his golden chariot, throwing money at us. Already catching fire. Then he throws off his lady companions, maybe to lose some weight. And that's the end of phase 1. Phase 2 is the real fight. Now he's in this tiny floating thing, which is harder to hit. And his attacks are a lot more dangerous, so he can throw fire, which we just saw. And he can also, do that. Place a swarm of golden turtles on the track, and they're really hard to avoid because they spread over the whole breadth of the track. And he takes a ton of hits still, so this is still taking a while. He's already looking a bit more beaten up and bloody. That's basically the last change we'll see, the last sign that we're grinding him down. He's still taking a bunch of hits, but we're almost done, I think, probably. And I've got pretty good health, so this should be safe. When he flies high up, you can't really hit him easily. You have to directly hit him instead of using splash damage from the bombs. But we should have him any moment. Now, there we go. And that's it. That's Mad Penny Coaster. We did not get the good ending, but there's not much difference. It's just one different image at the end. If you get 600,000 points at the end of the game. So this image I think would be different if you get the good ending. Alright, so that's Mad Panic Coaster. Here in the ending scroll you can see some of the enemy sprites. And yeah, I think we'll switch away for a moment and then we'll be right back with my second game, which is Gegege no Kitaro Fukatsu Tenma Daio on the Super Nintendo.